Hello and welcome to my channel. If we don't know each other yet, I'm Daria and I'm a crochet teacher at my studio in Barcelona. In this video I'm going to show you how to make a lovely balaclava for our fall winter season. I'm going to show you this example actually, because this one is the classy one. This one's like an extra huge one. This is a bit of a customization I made for myself. But this is the tutorial of how to put the balaclava together so that it looks nice and neat. Not a granny square tutorial. I've made already a granny square tutorial separate, so if you have no clue about granny squares, then go check that out. I'll link that in the description. If you know already how to do granny squares, then you can go ahead and follow with this video. And as always, if you make a balaclava with me with this tutorial, I would love to see it. So please send me pictures on Instagram or tag me. I always love to see your creations. Let's get to it. For our balaclavas, we will just need exactly 2 balls of drops air yarn. You can use any other yarn that would be similar length and size, but with drops air I found that 2 balls is the exact amount I need for a full balaclava, so it's just super satisfying to finish it with exactly 2 and not be left with just a little bit missing. And then secondly, I use my 6mm crochet hook. I think you would be able to do it with a 5.5 in case you don't have a 6, but 6 is the recommended one. The balaclavas that we're going to make are made of 8 granny squares, 2 of each type. The one that I like to do and the one that is like so very popular on Pinterest is exactly the one that has this white, darker color, white again and a darker, and then the other type is the opposite color. So the important thing to know here is that we need granny squares of 6 rows. So if you have never seen those before, if you have no clue how to start one, how to finish one, I'll link it down below and I'll link it on the video as well so that you can jump right there first. If you know how to make granny squares already, and go ahead and make yours. It's going to be 8 of them, 6 rows each, 4 in each color combination, and I'll show you how to put them together very fast and easy. Now for the start we'll need to put them together in a way that we won't get confused what goes where. What I like to do is I take one of each color and put them apart and kind of leave them for later, and the rest I put in a checkered pattern so that we've got the darker squares touching the brighter squares in between. And what we're going to do now is we're going to go first and put all of these together. We're going to do a line of stitching all the way here, and then we're going to do a line here and a line here so that all these 6 are put together already in one panel, and then we're just going to add these 2. Remember to put them with the right side facing up, so we want the pretty side to be up and then the ugly side with all the little ends and laying down so that we don't see it. If we've got it done, we're going to now put them towards each other. So see, this is a pretty side, this is a pretty side. I put them in a sandwich. And then this one as well, and this one as well. And this way we have this nice little edge that we can follow to put them all together in one go. I'm going to use my burgundy color for stitching them together, but you can use any of the 2, it doesn't really matter, it's not that visible. Where I'm going to start, so I'm going to take the first 2, my first little sandwich, with the ugly side here and the ugly side there, the pretty sides inside, and I'm going to do a little knot in both of these corners attaching the yarn. So I go through the corner, through the corner of the second one, take the beginning of this yarn, pull through, and I'm just going to make a little knot.
Nothing complicated here, just the way you tie your shoes, just a normal simple knot.
And then make one more just to have the yarn attached. Now we're holding it this way. What we want to do here is we want to single crochet these both edges together. All right, let's do a little close up here. So I'm going into the big hole in the corner of the first square, and also in the big hole in the corner of the second square. I'm going to take the yarn out through both of them. That's going to be my first loop. Then what I'm gonna do is yarn over and pull through that loop, and that's going to be the first start of the row of the single crochets. But it is just to get that first loop on the hook so that we can have a starting point. So we're gonna do that again. We go in the big hole through both of them, take the yarn out through both. Then you've got 2 loops on a hook. We're going to yarn over and pull through both of them. That's our first single crochet. And then we're going to move on to the V's. So if you see here, we've got those little V's, like this is a V, this is a V, this is a V. Those are basically the tops of our stitches from the previous row. We're gonna go under the V and under the V from the other granny square. Take the yarn, pull it out of both of them, and then we've got 2 loops on a hook. We're going to yarn over and pull through both of them. And then we continue like this throughout the whole row, but I'm going to show you a few more. So I'm going right here under the V of the second square, take the yarn and pull it out of both. Then we've got 2 loops on a hook, yarn over and pull through both of them. Let's do 2 more together. So under the V of the first square, under the V of the second square, take the yarn out through both of them, yarn over and pull through both. And we move on to the next V, under the V, under the second V, take the yarn out. Once we've got 2, yarn over, pull through 2. I'll catch up with you once I reach the end of these 2 squares. I have done almost a full row. I just wanted to show you how we finish this off and move on to the next 2 squares. So we have done single crochets all the way here, and now we're at the big hole again. So what we're gonna do here is we're going to do 1 single crochet in the big hole. So we go in there, take the yarn out, yarn over, pull through 2. And now comes a very important moment, so we put more of the squares together. We've done stitching here, now we need to move on to these 2. Just make sure that these 2 are facing from both sides with the ugly side, so ugly on top, 2 pretty sides inside, ugly. And we're going to kind of ignore the fact that these are not attached yet and just move on with our single crochets. Here I finished my corner, and here I'm going with my hook straight into these 2 corners together. So the corner of the first one, the corner of the second one, grab the yarn out through both corners, take the yarn and pull through both. And now they are connected already. Don't worry if this is a little bit loose, we're going to be fixing that later. And now I've got a whole another row just to continue with our single crochets until the corner. And then that basically we just need to continue until we get to here. So just single crochets until the corner, switch to next corner and single crochets until there. And I'll catch you up once I get there.
Once you get to the end, you can cut off the yarn and just pull the little short strand through that last loop that you have on a hook.
Let's see what happened here. So now that we open it, we've got this little stitching all the way, and they are already connected. The next line we're going to do is this one right here. So what we need to do now is we're going to flip it this way. And then same here. So we attach the yarn here through the 2 big corners, and then single crochet all the way till the end, cut off and get rid of the yarn. Let me do that with you. I went through both of the corners. I'm taking the yarn through both of them, Then I just need to make a knot twice in there, and then the second one. So I'm just going to single crochet all of these together like before, putting the hook through both of the corners. Then we're going to grab the yarn and pull it out through both, yarn over, pull through. And then in this corner I have a lot of those loose ends that are the ends of the granny squares before, so I'm just going to move on straight to my V's. So I go through the V, through the next V, take the yarn out, yarn over, pull through 2. Through the V, through the next V, yarn over, pull through, take it out, yarn over, pull through 2. Now, just in case you get lost with this part where they are connecting, what we're going to do is we're going to finish off the V's here and then continue with single crochets. One through this big hole in the corner, both of the squares at all times, and then we move on straight to this big hole right here. So we kind of ignore that there's a seam in between, we just go straight on, one single crochet in this big hole, and then in the second big hole another single crochet, and then we've got a clear way till the end of the row with our favorite V's all the way until here. Once you finish off this seam right there, you can also cut the yarn here and just pull it through that loop, tighten, and when you open it, we've got this nice little seam all the way there. So now, out of our 6 first squares, we've got only the last 2 to connect. So we're going to do the same thing exactly as we did just right now with this one. We're going to again make a little sandwich out of these and then put them like this and continue with the next seam all the way, attaching the yarn through the 2 corners, going through all of the V's, then 1 single crochet in a big hole, 1 single crochet in a big hole on the other side, and single crochets till the end of the row. And I'll catch up with you once we've got all 6 connected. Alright, I have finished the last 2 and now they're all connected. They're all just one big panel, all 6 of them. And the last job we have to do is to attach these 2. We're going to start by flipping this whole thing to the ugly side, the one with all the ends and all the seams. And we're going to attach this one. So for you it should be the one that has the same color code as the mid one of the top row. We're going to put it the ugly side facing up as well. And now what we need to connect is this one will be on the top of our head, so it will actually go like here, this one together, and then this like so. We need to connect this edge with this edge, here and here. So we're going to start like this, do single crochets until here, then this will go already connected, and we connect this side, and then for the last part we connect this here. Let's do that together just so that you don't get any kind of confused. And the first thing we need to do to attach them is we take them like a sandwich, so just like this, and then corner, corner, and we need to attach our yarn again here. And like before, we need to just single crochet these 2 together, going through the big hole of the other one, take the yarn out, yarn over, pull through, go into the V, into the next V, take the yarn out, yarn over, pull through. Just continue putting them together until here. I have finished putting this together, so let me just straighten it up for you and show you where I'm at. I've got it like this right now, so I've done this edge, and now what we need to do is we need to put this edge with this together. So we're going to just take it like so and continue single crochet along the white side connected with the white side, jumping to the next big hole of the next square and the next square, single crochet them together, and then we've got the familiar V's again. Alrighty, I got till here and you can already see that it's becoming a hood. Let me just put it down for you so that we can visualize it. We have just done this seam and then this seam, and now we need to connect this side with this side, so just like this. We're going to grab it like a sandwich again and connect the two big holes together, and then the V's all along until here. Okay, the last one here finished. I kind of like to break it. I should be cutting it, but I don't know, there's just something cool about breaking the yarn with my hands. Sorry for that. This one finished, and then let's take a look at where we're at. So now our balaclava is starting to look like a balaclava. We get just one last square to connect here, and that will be an easy thing to do, just two last seams. So we put this with the ugly side up, and we put it here in between. This is the one that's going to be on our neck, and then we're going to just put together this one and put together this one. And at this point I really believe that you can do that by yourself, and I'll catch up with you once we have these connected. Remember to just grab it here like a sandwich and then single crochet all along this edge. And once you're done, same for this one with this one. Okay, we're done. Would you believe? We've got all of the squares put together, and this is still our balaclava, the wrong side facing up. So now is the time to flip it. And this is probably the first time on the crochet internet that somebody's going to tell you that you can just leave the ends hanging. You don't have to weave them in.
If you want to weave them in, I'm going to show you how to do that later. If you don't, you have a green flag, just leave them.
Nobody's gonna know. Now, let's just flip it inside out and see our final result. Here we go. That's our balaclava. I like to go with single crochets around the edge here, around the face, and then one row single crochets around here for the neck, just to give it kind of a polished look. If you're happy with your balaclava being a little bit rough like this, just leave it like that. That's totally fine. Feel invited to let me know in the comments if you're the type that always puts the ends in and always finishes off everything, or if you're one of those that kind of skip it more often than not. Before I show you the final results, let me just help those of you who really want to get rid of those ends in a nice way and don't want to break your granny squares by accident. So let me just show you how to hide them on the inside. We always hide them in the following row. So those ends from the first row we're going to hide in the one above, and these are the ends from the second row, so it's going to go right here. I'm going to place my hook under those stitches from the row above where I'm going to hide those ends. So I'm going, that's a little bit tight here, but I'm going under those and 3 double crochets that make this one petal. And I'm going to just grab those 2 ends that I want to hide and bring them through all those loops that we went under. So be careful there, because it's sometimes tricky to pull all of them at once, but here's how it should be looking after. And that's just basically it. If you want to hide all your ends, you'll just need to repeat that with every single petal where you have the strings to cut. And then after, once they're pulled through that, if you want to be crazy secure, you can pull them through one more petal, but this is enough. You can already cut it off there. A little something I wanted to show you here. I am a big fan of those like extra huge hood like balaclavas. I feel like that's quite a different style. Like, it doesn't look so much different, but it is way bigger, especially when you wear it. I'm going to show you in a sec. So the one that we've been making in this tutorial, the one on the left is the classy one, is the one that is on Pinterest, is the one that you can find in stores. That's the right size. But if you want to customize it, you can make every square 1 row bigger. So every square is 7 rows, not 6. And then I'm just gonna show you in a sec how it will look like. Let's do a little try on. So this is our first balaclava, the classy one. I love it. I really like it. It's such a good accessory to have for the fall winter season. Really cool. Let's try on this gigantic one. Look at that. I feel like a fairy. I feel like it fits my face way more and it's just so comfy. I just feel like it's a one big blanket around me. So this is a comparison. This is how it looked like. So you can make your choice. If you like the big one more, you can make one more with the 7 row granny squares, or if you're still watching before you've done your granny squares, you can still make the different decision. Well, I hope you enjoyed and I'll see you next time.